If you are still building AI apps by just sending hard-coded text prompts to an OpenAI API wrapper, you are building in the past. In 2026, the real magic isn't just chatting with an LLM. It's building AI agents that can think, use external tools, query massive private databases, and run completely on autopilot. But how do you handle memory, connect APIs, switch between models, and keep track of your token costs without writing thousands of lines of messy custom code? That is exactly why the world runs on LangChain. In this LangChain tutorial for beginners, we are going to break down exactly what is LangChain, how it works, and how to use it in Python with OpenAI. We'll even walk through installing it in Visual Studio Code from scratch and look at real-world LangChain projects like RAG and AI agents. By the end of this video, you'll go from absolute beginner to ready to build your first production-ready AI application. Let's get into it. So even if you are a complete beginner in LangChain, you can get something out of this video as well, so keep watching and happy building. Let's start with the basics. What is LangChain? At its core, LangChain is an open-source framework designed to help developers build applications powered by large language models, LLMs. Think of a raw LLM like OpenAI's GPT-4 or Anthropic's Claude as a brilliant mind locked in a room with no internet and no memory of your conversation. Why use LangChain? Because LangChain provides the chains and pipelines that connect that brilliant mind to the real world. What is LangChain used for? It allows your LLM to interact with external data sources, work with local files, browse the web, and execute real code. If you look at using LangChain in Python or JavaScript apps, it acts as a massive orchestration layer. Instead of writing custom API calls for every different model, LangChain standardizes everything. If you want to swap your application from OpenAI to Anthropic or a local open-source model using Allama, you don't have to rewrite your app logic. You literally change just one line of code. That framework agility is why it's the #1 choice for LangChain for LLM applications today. To understand how LangChain works, you need to understand its core architecture. In its modern 2026 ecosystem, everything is built around LCEL, the LangChain expression language. It uses a very clean pipe operator syntax to stitch components together. There are 3 pillars you need to know. First, prompt templates. Hard-coding inputs inside strings breaks instantly in production. LangChain parameterizes prompts to make them clean and reusable. Second, chat models. This is the unified interface wrapper for your LLMs. And third, chains. This is where LangChain passes the output of one component directly as the input to the next. But what happens when you want to feed your model custom data? That brings us to one of its biggest use cases, using LangChain for RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. LangChain provides built-in document loaders and text splitters. It takes your company's PDFs or text files, splits them into smart chunks, converts them to embeddings, and saves them into a vector database. When a user asks a question, LangChain dynamically retrieves the exact right context and passes it to the LLM. No more hallucinating. Enough theory. Let's look at how to get started with LangChain and write some actual code. First, let's look at how to install LangChain in Visual Studio Code. Open up your VS Code terminal and make sure you have Python 3.10 or higher installed. Because modern LangChain is modular, we only install what we need. To see how to install LangChain in Python, type this command into your terminal. Next, we need an API key to handle our model calls. How to get LangChain API key and model access. You'll want to head over to the OpenAI developer dashboard to grab your secret API token. While you're at it, I highly recommend creating a free account at Langsmith to get a LangChain tracing API key so you can debug your agent loops visually. Once you have your keys, create a.env file in your project directory like this, and put your keys and other variables in it. Now, let's see how to use LangChain in Python and build a quick runnable chain. We'll call the script app.py. This is exactly how to use LangChain with OpenAI using the modern runnable system. Look at how elegant this code is. See that pipe operator right there? Chain prompt model. That is the beauty of LangChain. It takes the user input, formats it securely into the prompt template, streams it straight to OpenAI, and returns a clean object. But where the framework truly shines in 2026 is when you step away from simple chains and step into LangChain for AI agent architectures. Using decorators, you can turn any standard Python function into a tool that your LLM can look at and decide to run on its own. If you ask it to analyze a stock price, it realizes it doesn't know the answer, calls a financial API tool you gave it, reads the response, and reflects on it. If you are looking for great LangChain project ideas or LangChain projects for beginners to add to your resume, skip the basic chat interfaces and build one of these 3 apps. A smart research agent. An agent that takes a topic, searches Wikipedia, crawls the top 3 web results, and writes a comprehensive markdown summary report. A customer support assistant with guardrails. An interactive chatbot with built-in data filtering middleware to strip out sensitive information before it hits the model. An autonomous local database inspector. A tool-heavy agent that converts user questions into raw SQL queries, runs them safely against a local database, and visualizes the data back to the user. LangChain makes moving from a fragile prototype to a production-grade AI system incredibly seamless. If you found this LangChain tutorial and quick Python starter app helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more advanced AI development tutorials, and drop a comment below letting me know what AI agent you are planning to build first. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.